Hello and welcome to the SEO Access platform. We will take a quick tour of the tool to show you all the features. Once you are connected to your Google Search Console, you can have all the data from your site appear on the dashboard. This data allows for a quick and fairly visual overview to see the keyword rankings, those that bring you the most traffic, those that are rising, and the pages that will rise, the URLs that are rising. Here you have 4 indicators at the top, which is the domain authority to know if your site has quality backlinks and if it has authority on Google, Google traffic direct backlinks, the number of URLs pointing to your domain name or rather your site, and the number of keywords that appear on Google. To go a bit further in the analysis of these keywords, you can find here, you can sort directly by impression the keywords that are rising and falling compared to last month. So it's the last 30 days, the last 3 months, etc. You have filter navigation to help you better see your keywords. Once you have selected or noticed that there are keywords that need to be reworked, you can jump directly into action by choosing either to generate new keywords from it or to generate topics or a topical map from a URL and this keyword in order to have it ranked higher on Google. Before moving on to the audit part and the content generation part, we'll look at the part AI personalization. This personalization allows you to make your business known to artificial intelligence, which will then write content for your website. So the goal is to detail this part as much as possible, which will be useful to you throughout the use of the tool. And after this part, you will be able to categorize all the services or products of your. If you have an e-commerce, it can also be category pages of your e-commerce site. This will allow for automated internal links in the content. Once you have written and save everything, you just have to click on update and everything is saved. We'll move on to we'll start with the audit part now. In the audit part, you just have to enter your domain name here and we'll scrape your entire site to try and find all the errors there are. Directly on the SEO title tags, the meta descriptions, the head tags, the H1, H2, if they are too long or too short or missing, and the open graphs. So here we will take the example of title tags, like the SEO titles that appear directly in Google. The goal, when you click on Generate with AI, is to rewrite this title which is too long. For writing, we will scrape your target page and ensure that the main keyword is well integrated. Once it is written, you can modify here. Click on Save and send the correction directly to your WordPress. If you have WordPress, or otherwise copy paste it if you have another CMS. And for that you can make all the modifications directly from this table. So it will be the same for alt tags, etc. In the audit section, we will go to the on-page audit. On-page means we will analyze only one page of your site, but analyze it more in depth. So we will check, as usual, the SEO parts we saw earlier, but also a bit more in depth on the part code, loading time of your site, or rather of your page. This allows you to fix other errors or send them directly to your developer who can correct them, everything that is technical. Or otherwise, if it's on WordPress, you have modules that can lighten the code, for example, that allow to increase loading speed. Now we'll move on to the content generation part. So this is about keyword research. You have 2 choices for keyword research. Either you search based on a very generic keyword, so quite broad, or you can go directly for keywords from your competitors. Let's start with the part using a rather generic keyword. I have already done a search for swimming pool. Here, for example, for swimming pool, we will extract all the clusters referring to this keyword. That's why I was saying it needs to be very broad to gather as many clusters as possible. And then you can click on Get More Keywords, which will fetch more keywords for you. Once you have selected your keyword, we will display all the related keywords directly from this keyword that will be sent to the AI in order to generate 4 topics. Once these topics are generated, if you select the topic that interests you, what you want to cover on your blog. Once it is, you click on Write Plan. Here we will copy paste the topic of your article into Google, and we will scrape the top 10 results. We score them and select the top 3 results to send a dataset directly to the AI, which will write with everything necessary to know about this topic. This actually allows us to have hyper-precise content to best answer the question, and for Google, as a result, to rank your article at better. Once the plan is written, you see that it's a highly detailed plan. You can modify this plan, so remove sections or add some. And once you have validated your plan, you click on Save and Write the article. And this allows us to now write the article. So during the writing of the article, we will continue the tour with the keyword research with your competitors. There, you can type the URL directly, choose the Google, on which Google you want to go search for your competitors and the keywords, the language of these keywords. And here, for example, we did a search for Uber, and we're going to find all the keywords for Uber. So, of course, afterwards, we display the search intent, the position, and then other metrics that are quite interesting. Once you have selected the keyword you want to work on, there are several ways to work on it. Either we will go directly to write an article for this keyword, or we will write topics. So we will see later if the topic generator, and otherwise we can generate a topical map directly for this keyword if you already have the keyword that is on a pillar page of your site that is targeted. We'll go to the topical maps then. So it's very simple. You just need to enter the URL of your pillar page that you want to rank higher in Google. This URL, once you've entered it, so here, for example, we enter this URL, we create, and then we look for the main keyword that is present on your URL. It's very important. It really has to be, your pillar page really has to be optimized for this keyword. And this will allow us to find all the topics that need to be covered by sending links to this pillar page. Each piece of content that is written will have a link. This helps reinforce the authority of your pillar page in Google. So Google will catch that. It's super important. This pillar page is very important because you talk a lot and you have covered the topic and are knowledgeable about it. The other part, to find new contents, it will always be about writing in relation, for example, to the keywords you selected in topical map. You can put it back here and we will look for all the questions that refer to this topic. So it's the people also ask that you find in Google. Once you write an article, you have 2 choices. Either through internal linking, you will create an internal link to content you have already written in your topical map, or you will include links that direct to other articles or other pages directly within this content. Let's now go see the content that is completed. We see swimming pool, the topic we covered, and we will go look at the content that was created. So we see that the score is 67. This score is calculated based on its competitors. So we selected from these 6 sites that we scraped. We selected the top 3. The top 3 are present there with, you can directly uncheck content if you analyze this content and think, well, it doesn't really match to your activity, or if the keywords are too specific for this activity, for example, you can uncheck or recheck it, and it will update the score and the semantics and the NLP analysis you have on the right. The NLP analysis is here. We find all the keywords that have been handled by your competitors and need to be addressed. You don't necessarily have to address them all, but you can select a few if there are any changes to be made. Here, we see that the article was generated and consists of 2,300 words. On average, our articles are between 2,000 and 3,000 words. We never exceed 3,000 words. Here, you can find your SEO meta, so you can copy paste directly if you don't have WordPress, or if you have WordPress, send them directly with the article, and then the photos. So here, you can add photos directly to your article. To modify this article, we have integrated the AI directly into the editor, allowing you to extend some content, simplify it, or change the tone of a paragraph. Here we can see that the internal links were directly at the end. You always have links. You can select these links and disable them if they don't suit your needs. So there we go. We've covered the basics of the tool. The last part is the integration I mentioned to you of WordPress. It's just a small module to integrate and an API key that you find in your profile page. If you have multiple accounts and several sites for the same account, here you can add, we can directly link this module to several APIs. There you go.